He comes every Thursday at 4:17 p.m. I know the exact time because I've been watching. Not in a creepy way. In the way you notice things when your life is quiet enough to notice everything. The bell above the door chimes. The afternoon light shifts. And there he is. The man with no name. He never told me what to call him. I asked once, early on, when he first started coming. He smiled, this soft, sad thing that didn't reach his eyes, and said, "Does it matter?" It shouldn't matter. He's just a customer. One of dozens who wander into Bell's books every week, looking for something to fill the empty hours. But he's different. I knew it from the first moment I saw him. He walks like he's carrying something heavy. Not physically. There's nothing wrong with the way he moves. It's graceful, actually. Deliberate. Like every step is considered. But there's a weight behind his eyes. A darkness that doesn't match the gentle way he handles the books. And his hands. God, his hands. I've watched him turn pages like they're made of butterfly wings. Careful. Reverent. Like the words might disappear if he touches them wrong. I've watched him trace the spines on the shelves. Fingers lingering on titles I've never seen anyone else notice. Poetry. Philosophy. Old translations of older texts. He has good taste. Expensive taste. The kind that comes from education or money or both. But he always pays in cash. Never gives a card. Never gives a name. Just peels bills from a leather wallet that looks like it costs more than my monthly rent, sets them on the counter, and waits for change he never takes. Keep it, he says every time. That same soft voice. That same sad smile. I've been keeping it for 3 months now. The tips alone have covered my electric bill twice. I should be grateful. I should be professional. I should stop staring at him like he's a puzzle I need to solve. But I can't. Because here's the thing about running a bookshop alone in a neighborhood that's seen better days. You get good at reading people. You learn who's browsing and who's buying, who's killing time and who's searching for something specific, who's dangerous and who's just sad. This man is both. I don't know how I know. I just do. The same way I know when rain is coming or when my mother is about to call with bad news. It's instinct. Survival. The thing that kept my ancestors alive when everything else tried to kill them. He's dangerous, but not to me. At least, that's what I tell myself every Thursday at 4:17 p.m. when the bell chimes and my heart does something stupid in my chest. Today is Thursday. Today, everything changes. The shop is quiet when he arrives. It's always quiet. Bell's Books isn't exactly a destination. It's a holdover from another era, wedged between a laundromat and a nail salon in a strip mall that peaked in 1987. The sign is faded. The carpet is older than I am. The shelves are stuffed with books nobody else wanted, donations and estate sales, and the occasional rare find that makes the whole thing worthwhile. I inherited it from my grandmother. She ran it for 40 years before the stroke took her ability to read, and then her ability to speak, and then her ability to breathe. I was 23 when she died. 23 and stupid and convinced I could make something of this place. That was 5 years ago. I'm still here. Still stupid. Still convinced. The bell chimes. I look up from the inventory spreadsheet I've been pretending to work on. And there he is. Black coat. Dark hair. That face that makes me forget how to form sentences. He's Korean. I figured that out early. From the books he buys, the occasional phrase I've heard him mutter under his breath. His English is perfect, though. No accent. No hesitation. Whatever his story is, America has been part of it for a long time. Afternoon, I say. He nods. Doesn't smile today. That's unusual. I watch him move through the shop. Same routine. Poetry section first. Then philosophy. Then the back corner where I keep the rare stuff, the first editions and signed copies locked behind glass. But today he doesn't browse. He goes straight to the corner. Stands there. Stares at the glass like he's looking for something specific. Can I help you find something? He turns. His eyes meet mine. And I feel it again, that thing I can't name. That pull. Do you have anything by Yoon Dongju? The name is familiar. I rack my brain. The Korean poet? I might have something in the back. Let me check. I disappear into the storage room. It's a mess back here. Boxes I haven't unpacked, donations I haven't sorted, a life I haven't organized. But I know where everything is. That's my superpower. Chaos with a system. I find the book in the third box I open. A slim volume, translated into English. The cover is worn, the pages yellowed, but it's there. When I come back out, he's standing at the counter, waiting. Found it. I set the book down. It's not in great condition. I can give you a discount. He picks it up, opens it carefully, the way he opens everything. His eyes scan the first page. Counting the stars, he murmurs. My mother used to read this to me. It's the most personal thing he's ever said. I don't know what to do with it. She had good taste, I offer. That sad smile again. She had impossible taste. Expected the world to be beautiful when it never was. And you? What do you expect? He looks at me, really looks at me, like he's seeing something he didn't expect to find. I stopped expecting anything a long time ago. The words should be sad. They are sad, but the way he says them, the way his eyes hold mine, there's something else underneath. Something that feels like hope trying not to be hope. That's a lonely way to live, I say. Yes. He sets the book down, pulls out his wallet. It is. I ring him up. He pays. Too much, as always. I open my mouth to protest, to tell him he doesn't have to keep doing this, that I'm not a charity case. But before I can speak, the bell chimes again, and everything goes wrong. 3 men walk in. I know immediately that something is off. They're too big, too alert. They move like they're scanning for threats, not browsing for books. The man at the counter goes still, completely still, like a deer that's heard a branch snap. We're closed, I say automatically. It's not true, but it's the only thing I can think to say. The first man ignores me. He's tall, broad, with a scar running down his left cheek. His eyes are fixed on my Thursday regular. Boss, he says, we need to go. Now. Boss. The word hits me like a slap. I look at the man I've been watching for 3 months. The man with the sad eyes and the gentle hands. The man who reads poetry and tips too much and never told me his name. He's not looking at me anymore. He's looking at the men, and his expression has changed. The sadness is gone. The gentleness is gone. What's left is something cold, something hard, something that makes me understand, finally, what my instincts have been trying to tell me all along. He's dangerous. How did you find me? His voice is different too. Flat. Commanding. They tracked your car. Seo's men. They're 5 minutes out. The scarred man's eyes flick to me. What about her? She's no one. She doesn't know anything. The words hurt more than they should. No one. After 3 months of Thursdays. 3 months of watching him. 3 months of this stupid, hopeless thing building in my chest. I'm no one. We can't leave witnesses, another man says. Younger. Colder. His hand moves toward his jacket. Touch her and I'll kill you myself. The words are quiet, almost casual, but something in them makes the younger man freeze. Boss. She's not part of this. She stays. We go. He turns to me. For just a second, the coldness cracks. I see something underneath. Regret, maybe. Or apology. I'm sorry. Then he's moving. All 3 of them are moving. Toward the back door. Toward whatever escape route they've already planned. Wait, I call out. I don't know why. It's stupid. I should let him go. Let him disappear into whatever world he came from. Let myself go back to my quiet life in my quiet shop with my quiet loneliness. He stops. Looks back. Your name, I say. You never told me your name. A pause. A lifetime compressed into a second. Kang, he says. My name is Kang Sunho. Then he's gone, and I'm alone, for about 30 seconds. The front door explodes inward. Not literally, but that's what it feels like. Glass shattering, wood splintering, the bell making a sound I've never heard before, a death rattle instead of a chime. Men pour in, different men, harder men. They're dressed in black, faces obscured, moving with military precision. I drop behind the counter. Instinct, survival, the thing that's kept my family alive for generations. "Where is he?" someone shouts. I don't answer. Can't answer. My throat is closed. My heart is pounding so hard I can feel it in my teeth. Footsteps. Coming closer. A hand grabs my arm. Yanks me up. I'm face to face with a man whose eyes hold nothing. No anger. No curiosity. Nothing. The man who was here. Where did he go? I don't know. My voice shakes. I don't know anything. He was just a customer. She's lying. Another voice. Behind me. She knows something. I don't. I swear. He came in, bought a book, and left. That's all. The empty-eyed man studies me. I can feel him calculating, deciding whether I'm worth the trouble. Bring her, he says finally. She might be useful. No. Please. I don't know anything. I just run a bookshop. Something hits the back of my head. The world goes dark. I wake up in a room I don't recognize. It's cold. Concrete walls. A single bulb hanging from the ceiling. The kind of place you see in movies right before something terrible happens. My hands are tied behind my back. My head is pounding. There's blood in my mouth, copper and salt. She's awake. I turn toward the voice. A man is sitting in a metal chair a few feet away. He's older than the others, gray at his temples, a face that might have been handsome once, before something carved all the softness out of it. "Miss Johnson," he says. I apologize for the rough treatment. My men can be overzealous. He knows my name. Of course he does. My wallet was in my pocket. My ID. My whole pathetic life summarized on a 3-inch card. What do you want? My voice is ragged, dry. I want Kang Sunho, and I think you can help me find him. I can't. I told your men. I don't know anything about him. He was just a customer. A customer who visited your shop every Thursday for 3 months. The man leans forward. A customer who paid you more than he owed. A customer who ran when my men arrived and left you behind. That doesn't mean. It means you matter to him. The man smiles. It doesn't reach his eyes. And when a man like Kang has something that matters, he becomes predictable. He becomes weak. He becomes mine. I want to argue. I want to tell him he's wrong, that I don't matter to anyone. That Kang probably hasn't thought about me once since he walked out that back door. But the words won't come. Because part of me, the stupid hopeful part, wonders if he's right. Hours pass. Or maybe minutes. I can't tell. The gray-haired man leaves. Others come and go. They ask questions I can't answer. They get frustrated. They threaten. But they don't hurt me. Not yet. I'm leverage. A bargaining chip. And you don't damage your chips before the game is played. I think about my grandmother. About the shop. About all the books I'll never get to read if I die in this concrete room. I think about Kang. About his sad eyes and gentle hands. About the way he said my shop was no one, while his eyes said something else entirely. I think about all the Thursdays, all the almost conversations, all the moments when I felt seen by someone who refused to tell me his name. And I think about how stupid I am, how impossibly, irrevocably stupid. I fell for a man I didn't know, a man with secrets, a man with enemies, a man whose world just collided with mine and might destroy everything I've built. I should hate him. I don't. I can't. Because even now, even here, tied up in a room that smells like fear and old concrete, all I can think about is whether he's safe, whether he got away, whether I'll ever see him again. That's the thing about feelings. They don't care about logic. They don't care about survival. They just are. And mine apparently belonged to a man named Kang Sunho, whoever he really is. The door opens. I tense, ready for more questions, more threats, more of the same circular nightmare I've been trapped in. But it's not the gray-haired man. It's him. Kang is standing in the doorway. Black coat, dark eyes, face like stone. Behind him I can see bodies. Men on the ground, not moving. Can you walk? His voice is clipped, urgent. I nod. I think. My head is still foggy. He crosses the room in 3 strides, pulls a knife from somewhere, and cuts my bonds. His hands are steady, professional, nothing like the gentle way he handles books. We need to move. Now. He pulls me to my feet. I stumble. My legs have forgotten how to work. His arm wraps around my waist, steadying me, supporting me. I'm sorry, he says. I'm so sorry. I never meant for you to be part of this. What is this? I manage. Who are you? What? Later. I'll explain everything later. But right now we need to go. He half carries me through a maze of corridors, past doors that are closed and doors that are open, and rooms I don't want to look into. The building is industrial, abandoned, the kind of place where people disappear. We burst out into night air, cold and clean and overwhelming after the staleness of that room. A car is waiting, black, sleek, a man in the driver's seat. Kang opens the back door, helps me in, slides in beside me. Go, he says. The car moves, and I'm finally safe. Or at least, that's what I think. The car moves through streets I don't recognize. I'm pressed against the leather seat, still shaking, still trying to make sense of what just happened. My wrists ache with a rope cut into them. My head throbs where someone hit me. My whole body feels like it belongs to someone else. Kang sits beside me, close but not touching. His eyes are fixed on the window, scanning the darkness for threats I can't see. Where are we going? My voice sounds foreign, scratchy, somewhere safe. That's not an answer. He finally looks at me. In the dim light of passing street lamps, his face is a study in shadows, hard lines and hidden depths. No, he agrees. It's not. Silence stretches between us. The car hums. The city slides past. You came back for me. I say finally. Yes. Why? You said I was no one. You said I didn't know anything. Something flickers across his face. Pain, maybe. Or shame. I lied. His voice is quiet. To protect you. I thought if they believed you were nothing to me, they would leave you alone. They didn't. No. His jaw tightens. CO is smarter than that. He knew. Knew what? Kang doesn't answer. Just looks at me with those dark eyes that have haunted my Thursdays for 3 months. I think I know what he's not saying. I think I've known for a while. But I need to hear it. Knew what, Kang? That you matter. The words come out rough, like they hurt him. That you're the only thing that's mattered to me in a very long time. My heart does something complicated. Something between breaking and blooming. You don't even know me. I know you read poetry when you think no one's watching. I know you talk to the books like they're old friends. I know you give discounts to students and seniors and anyone who looks like they need a break. He pauses. I know you make the best coffee I've ever tasted, even though you use a machine that should have been retired 20 years ago. You noticed all that. I noticed everything. His voice drops. Every Thursday, I told myself it would be the last time, that I needed to stop coming, that being near you was putting you in danger. And every Thursday I came back anyway. Why? Because you saw me. He looks away, back to the window, back to the darkness. Not Kang Sunho, not the name or the reputation or the fear. Just a man who walked into your shop looking for something he couldn't name. And you smiled at me like I deserved it. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to feel. 24 hours ago, I was a woman who ran a failing bookshop and watched a stranger browse the poetry section every Thursday. Now I'm in the back of a car racing through the night, having just been kidnapped and rescued by a man who apparently matters to people who carry guns and leave bodies behind. Who are you? I ask. Really, not the name. Who are you? He's quiet for a long moment. The car turns onto a highway. The city lights fade behind us. I run an organization, he says finally. A company, technically. Multiple companies. Technology, logistics, development. All legitimate on paper. And off paper, I'm the head of the Kang family. We've operated in Korea and America for 3 generations. My grandfather built the foundation. My father expanded it. And he trails off. You inherited it. I tried to change it. His voice hardens. I've spent 10 years trying to pull the family out of the shadows, moving into legal enterprises, cutting ties with the old ways. But some things don't let go easily. Like the man who took me? Seo Juno. He runs a rival family. Old school, old money, old grudges. Kang's hands clench in his lap. He's been waiting for an opportunity to strike at me, to prove that modernization is weakness, that the old ways are the only ways. And I gave him that opportunity. No, he turns to me. His eyes are fierce. I gave him that opportunity. By being selfish. By wanting something I had no right to want. What did you want? You. The word is simple. Devastating. I wanted you. Your smile. Your voice. Your ridiculous optimism about that shop that should have closed years ago. I wanted something good. Something clean. Something that had nothing to do with the world I live in. And now I'm part of that world anyway. Yes. He looks away again. And I will never forgive myself for that. The car exits the highway. We're in a different neighborhood now. Quieter. Richer. Houses set back from the road behind walls and gates. Where are we? I ask. My home. The car stops in front of a gate. It opens automatically. We pull through. The house at the end of the driveway is beautiful, modern, all clean lines and warm light. Nothing like the cold concrete room I was just in. Kang helps me out of the car. His hand lingers on my elbow longer than necessary. You need rest, he says. Medical attention. Food. In that order. I need answers. Those too. He guides me toward the door. But first, let me take care of you. Please. There's something in his voice. Something that sounds almost like begging. I'm too tired to argue. Too tired to do anything but let him lead me inside. Into warmth and light and the beginning of something I don't understand yet. But I'm going to understand it. One way or another. I'm going to know the truth about Kang Sunho. And then I'll decide what to do with it. The inside of his house is nothing like I expected. I don't know what I expected. Something cold, maybe. Sterile. The kind of minimalist showroom that rich people live in without actually inhabiting. This isn't that. The floors are hardwood, warm and worn in places that suggest actual living. There are books everywhere, not just on shelves, but stacked on tables, piled on chairs, a chaos that reminds me of my own shop. The walls are covered with art, some modern, some traditional, a mix that shouldn't work, but somehow does. It looks like a home, a real home, not a display. This way. Kang leads me down a hallway. The guest suite has its own bathroom. You can clean up. There should be clothes that fit. You just happen to have women's clothes in my size. I had them brought while we were en route. He doesn't look at me. My assistant is efficient. Of course, his assistant. Because men like him have assistants who can produce entire wardrobes at a moment's notice. I want to be annoyed. I am annoyed. But I'm also exhausted and covered in dust and blood, and the thought of a shower sounds like heaven. Fine, I say. But after I clean up, you're going to tell me everything. And I mean everything. I will. Promise me. He stops, turns to face me. His expression is serious. I promise, he says. No more secrets. No more lies. Whatever you want to know, I'll tell you. Why? Because you deserve the truth. Because I've been lying to you for 3 months, even if the lies were silence instead of words. And because... He pauses. Because if there's any chance of you not hating me after tonight, I need to start by being honest. I don't know what to say to that, so I just nod. He shows me to the guest suite. It's bigger than my entire apartment. The bathroom has a tub I could swim in, and a shower with more heads than I can count. Take your time, Kang says from the doorway. I'll be in the study when you're ready. Then he's gone, and I'm alone with hot water and expensive soap and questions that won't stop spinning through my head. The shower helps. Hot water sluices away the grime and fear and confusion. I stand under the spray until my skin turns pink, until the pounding in my head fades to a manageable throb, until I feel almost human again. The clothes waiting for me are simple. Soft cotton pants, a sweater that feels like a cloud. Everything fits perfectly. His assistant really is efficient. I find the study by following the light. It's a room lined with bookshelves because of course it is. A fire crackles in the fireplace. Kang is sitting in an armchair, staring at the flames. He stands when I enter. Better, he asks. Cleaner. Not sure about better. I take the chair across from him. You promised me answers. I did. So start talking. He sits back down, takes a breath, and then he starts. My grandfather came to America in 1962. He had nothing, less than nothing. He built everything from the ground up, and not all of it was legal. By the time my father took over, the Kang family was one of the most powerful organizations on the West Coast. Organization meaning we operated outside the law when it suited us. Protection, gambling, import and export of things that weren't supposed to be imported or exported. He meets my eyes. I'm not going to pretend my family were saints. They weren't, but they were also more than criminals. They built communities, protected people who had no one else to protect them, provided opportunities when no one else would. That sounds like a justification. It's a context. His voice is steady. I'm not asking you to approve. I'm asking you to understand. Fine, go on. When my father died, I was 24. I inherited everything. The legitimate businesses, the illegitimate ones, the alliances and the enemies and the expectations. That's young. Too young. I made mistakes, trusted the wrong people, nearly destroyed everything my family built. He pauses, but I learned. I adapted, and I started moving the organization toward legitimacy. Why? Because I saw what the old ways did to my father. The paranoia, the violence, the inability to trust anyone, even his own family. Kang's jaw tightens. He died at 53. Heart attack. But he'd been dying for years. Killed slowly by the weight of what he was. And you didn't want that. No. I wanted something different. Something better. So I started transitioning. Selling off the illegal operations. Investing in legitimate businesses. It took 10 years, but we're almost there. Almost clean. Almost. There are people who don't want me to succeed. People who profit from the old ways. People like Seo. His voice hardens. He's been looking for a weakness. A way to pull me back into the shadows. To prove that change is impossible. And I'm that weakness. You're not a weakness. He leans forward. His eyes are intense. You're the opposite. You're the reason I kept going. The reminder that there's something worth building toward. Something good. You barely know me. I know enough. He stands, moves to the fireplace. I know you smile at strangers, even when you're tired. I know you keep a bookshop open that should have closed years ago because it was your grandmother's, and you refuse to let her legacy die. I know you notice things other people miss, and you care about things other people ignore. That's not knowing someone. That's observation. It's a start. He turns to face me. I want more. I want to know everything about you. What you dream about. What you're afraid of. What makes you laugh, really laugh, not the polite thing you do with customers. My heart is pounding. I don't know when it started. Why? I ask. Why me? You could have anyone. Someone from your world. Someone who understands this life. I don't want someone from my world. I want someone who makes me want to leave it behind. The words hang in the air. Heavy. Dangerous. Full of possibility. This is insane, I whisper. Yes. I was kidnapped 6 hours ago. I should be calling the police. I should be running as far away from you as possible. Yes. So why am I still here? He crosses the room, stops in front of me, close enough that I can feel his warmth, smell his cologne, see the flecks of gold in his dark eyes. Because you feel it too, he says quietly. Whatever this is, this thing between us, you felt it since the first Thursday. I want to deny it. I want to be smart, to be careful, to protect myself from this man and his world and everything that comes with it. But I'm tired of being careful. I'm tired of being alone. I'm tired of watching life happen through a bookshop window while I slowly fade into the background. Yes, I admit. I feel it. Something shifts in his expression. Hope, maybe. Or relief. I'm going to kiss you now, he says. If that's okay. It's not okay. It's reckless and stupid and everything I should be running from. Yes, I say anyway. His hand cups my face. Gentle, reverent, the same way he handles books. And then he kisses me. It's not what I expected. It's soft, almost hesitant, like he's asking a question with his lips. I answer by pulling him closer. The kiss deepens. His other hand finds my waist. My fingers tangle in his hair. We're pressed together now. No space between us, and everything else fades away. The danger, the questions, the impossibility of what we're doing. There's just this. Just him. Just the feeling of finally being exactly where I'm supposed to be. When we break apart, we're both breathing hard. I should apologize for that, he murmurs. Don't. It's too fast. After everything you've been through tonight. Don't, I repeat. Don't apologize. Don't rationalize. Don't try to be noble. He looks at me. That same intensity. That same searching gaze. What do you want? He asks. I want to know what happens next. With us. With Sio. With all of it. What happens next is that I keep you safe. I deal with Sio. And then. He pauses. Then we see where this goes. If you want that. I want that. Even knowing what I am, what my family is, what loving me might cost you. Loving. The word catches in my chest. I'm not saying I love you, I clarify. I don't even know you yet. Not really. But you want to. Yes. The truth of it surprises me. Yes, I want to know you. All of you. The poetry and the violence. The gentleness and the danger. Everything. He kisses me again. Harder this time, more certain, and I kiss him back with everything I have, because I'm done being careful. I'm done being invisible. I'm done letting fear make my decisions. Whatever this is, wherever it leads, I'm going to see it through, even if it destroys me. I sleep in the guest suite that night, alone despite everything. Kang walked me to the door, kissed me softly, and said he'd be down the hall if I needed anything. Then he left. I should be grateful for his restraint. I should appreciate that he's not pushing, not taking advantage of the chaos and adrenaline and vulnerability. Instead, I lie awake in a bed that's too big and too soft, staring at an unfamiliar ceiling, wishing he was beside me. This is insane. All of it. 24 hours ago, I was closing up the shop, counting the till, planning what to microwave for dinner. Now I'm in a mansion belonging to a man who runs a criminal empire, wearing borrowed clothes, still tasting his kiss on my lips. My grandmother would have something to say about this. She always had something to say about everything. Baby girl, you got a gift for finding trouble. Just make sure the troubles, worth finding. I don't know if Kang Sunho is worth finding. I don't know if this whole thing is going to end with happily ever after or a body in a ditch. But I know I'm not running. Not yet. Morning comes slowly. I wake to sunlight, filtering through curtains I don't remember closing. For a moment, I forget where I am. Then it all comes rushing back. The shop, the men, the room with concrete walls. Kang's face in the doorway, stone cold and determined. I get up, shower again because the hot water is amazing and my muscles still ache from being tied up for hours. The clothes from last night are gone, replaced by fresh ones. Different, but equally perfect. The assistant again. She must never sleep. I find my way to the kitchen by following the smell of coffee. Kang is already there, standing at the counter, scrolling through his phone. He's dressed casually today. Dark jeans, a gray sweater that clings to his shoulders. He looks almost normal, almost like the man who browsed my bookshop instead of the one who left bodies on the floor. He looks up when I enter. Something warm flickers in his eyes. How did you sleep? Barely. I accept the cup of coffee he pours me. Too much to think about. I know the feeling. We stand in comfortable silence for a moment. The kitchen is bright and modern, all white marble and stainless steel. Through the window, I can see a garden. Trees and flowers and paths that wind through carefully maintained greenery. Your house is beautiful, I say. Thank you. I designed most of it myself. You designed it? Architecture was my first love, before I inherited the family business. He shrugs. I studied for 2 years at university. Had to drop out when my father got sick. That must have been hard. It was a long time ago. He sets down his phone. Breakfast? Mrs. Park made something before she left. Mrs. Park? My housekeeper. She comes in the mornings, prepares meals, makes sure I don't live in complete squalor. He opens the refrigerator. She's also a former intelligence agent, but that's a story for another time. I blink. Your housekeeper is a spy. Former spy. Retired. She wanted something quieter in her golden years. He pulls out containers. Eggs, rice, soup. All of the above. And don't think I'm letting go of the spy housekeeper thing. He smiles. It's small but real. The first genuine smile I've seen from him since before everything went wrong. We eat at the kitchen island, sitting side by side on stools that probably cost more than my car. The food is delicious. Simple Korean breakfast dishes that taste like home cooking, not restaurant fare. So, I say between bites, what happens now? Now I deal with Seo. Deal with him how? Kang sets down his chopsticks. His expression shifts. Harder. Colder. He crossed a line. Taking you. Using you as leverage. In my world, that demands a response. What kind of response? The kind he'll understand. I don't ask for clarification. I'm not sure I want to know. And me? I ask instead, what happens to me? You stay here, where I can protect you, until Seo is no longer a threat. For how long? As long as it takes. I set down my own chopsticks. I have a shop, Kang. A life. I can't just disappear. Your shop is closed. Has been since yesterday. My people are watching it. Your people are. I stop. Take a breath. You just decided this? Without asking me. I decided to keep you alive. Yes. That's not the same thing. It is when the alternative is you going back to that shop and being taken again. Or worse. His voice is hard. Seo won't stop, Zuri. Not until he gets what he wants, or I make him stop. Until then, you're not safe anywhere but here. Zuri. My name in his mouth. It sounds different than when anyone else says it. More intimate. More dangerous. So, I'm a prisoner, I say flatly. You're a guest. A guest who can't leave. He's quiet for a moment. When he speaks again, his voice is softer. I know this isn't fair. I know I've turned your life upside down, and I know you have every right to be angry. He reaches for my hand. I let him take it, but I can't lose you, Zuri. Not when I just found you. You barely know me. Then let me know you. His thumb traces circles on my palm. Stay. Not as a prisoner, as a partner. Help me figure out how to end this. And when it's over, you can go back to your life. If that's what you want. And if it's not. He looks at me. Those dark eyes. That intensity that makes my breath catch. Then we figure out what comes next. Together. I should argue. I should demand my freedom, my independence, my right to make my own choices. But the truth is, I don't want to go back. Not to the empty apartment. Not to the struggling shop. Not to the life I was living before a man with sad eyes walked through my door and changed everything. Fine, I say. I'll stay. But I have conditions. Name them. First, you tell me everything. No secrets. No protecting me from the truth. If something affects me, I want to know. Done. Second, I'm not going to sit around waiting to be rescued. If there's something I can do to help, I want to do it. He hesitates. That's more complicated. Those are my terms. He studies me. I can see him calculating, weighing risks and benefits. Okay, he says finally, within reason. Nothing that puts you in direct danger. I'll take it. I squeeze his hand. Third condition. There's more. You teach me to protect myself. Self-defense. Whatever skills I need to survive in your world. Something shifts in his expression. Surprise, maybe. Or respect. You want to learn to fight. I want to never feel as helpless as I did in that room. Ever again. He's quiet for a long moment. Then he nods. I'll arrange it. There's someone I trust. She's the best. Her name is Yuna. She handles security for the family. He pauses. She's also my sister. I process this. Your sister is a security expert. My sister is a lot of things. Security expert. Former mixed martial artist. The only person who's ever beaten me in a fight. He smiles slightly. She's going to like you. How do you know? Because you remind me of her. Stubborn. Brave. Completely unwilling to accept the world as it is. I don't know what to say to that, so I just squeeze his hand again. We finish breakfast in something like peace. The coffee is good. The food is better. And for a few minutes, I let myself pretend this is normal. That I'm just a woman having breakfast with a man she's falling for. But it's not normal. And I'm not just any woman anymore. I'm Zuri Johnson. I run a bookshop. I got kidnapped by criminals. I was rescued by a man who kisses like poetry and deals in violence. And apparently I'm about to learn how to fight. Yuna arrives that afternoon. She's not what I expected. Shorter than her brother by almost a foot. Delicate features. A smile that makes her look about 16. Then she moves and I understand. She walks like a predator. Smooth. Controlled. Every step deliberate. Every muscle ready to spring. So, she says, looking me up and down. You're the bookshop girl. Zuri, I correct. Zuri. She tilts her head. My brother says you want to learn to fight. I want to learn to protect myself. Same thing. She circles me slowly, assessing. You're small. That's good. Easier to underestimate. Bad posture, though. You stand like someone who's used to hiding. I'm not used to being looked at. That'll change. She stops in front of me. First lesson. You're not invisible anymore. From now on, everyone's going to be looking at you. You need to decide what they see. What should they see? Someone who's not afraid. Her smile sharpens, even when you are. She takes me to a room in the basement. It's a gym. Not a normal gym with treadmills and weight machines. A training facility. Mats on the floor. Punching bags in the corner. Weapons on the wall that I don't want to think about. We start with basics. Yuna says. Stance, balance, awareness. She takes a position in the center of the mat. Copy me. I try. I fail. My feet are wrong. My knees are wrong. Everything is wrong. Again, Yuna says. I try again. Fail again. Again. By the end of the first hour, every muscle in my body is screaming. I'm drenched in sweat. My lungs are burning. And I've learned exactly 3 things: how to stand, how to fall, and how to get back up. Not bad, Eunice says when we finally stop. For a bookworm. Thanks. I think. It was a compliment. She tosses me a water bottle. Most people quit after 20 minutes. You lasted the whole session. I'm stubborn. I noticed. She sits down on the mat, legs crossed. Can I ask you something? Sure. Why are you really here? I blink. Your brother didn't tell you? My brother told me you were in danger. That CO targeted you. That you needed protection. She shrugs. He didn't tell me why you're still here after you were safe. I think about the question. Really think about it. I don't know, I admit. I should have left. Gone to a hotel. Called the police. Something. But you didn't. No. Why not? I sit down across from her. My legs are grateful for the rest. Because for the first time in years, I feel like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. The words come out before I can stop them. I know that sounds crazy. I know I barely know him. But there's something about your brother. Something that makes me want to stay, even when staying is the dangerous choice. Yuna studies me. Her expression is unreadable. He's not an easy man to love, she says finally. I'm not saying I love him. Not yet. She stands, offers me a hand. But you will. I can see it in the way you look at him. The same way he looks at you. And how's that? Like you've been waiting for each other your whole lives. She pulls me to my feet. Same time tomorrow. Same time tomorrow. She leaves. I stay on the mat for a while, cooling down, thinking about what she said. Like we've been waiting for each other our whole lives. It should sound ridiculous. Romantic nonsense. The kind of thing that only happens in the books I sell. But it doesn't feel ridiculous. It feels true. The days blur together. Training with Yuna every afternoon. Meals with Kang every evening. Long conversations that last until midnight, learning each other's stories, filling in the gaps. He tells me about his childhood. Strict parents. High expectations. A world where weakness was unforgivable and love was expressed through discipline. I tell him about mine. A mother who worked 3 jobs. A father who left before I could remember him. A grandmother who raised me on books and stubbornness. He tells me about the weight of inheritance, the loneliness of leadership, the exhaustion of always being the one who has to decide. I tell him about the shop, about my grandmother's hands on the books, about the way she smiled when someone found exactly what they needed, about my promise to keep her legacy alive, even when it was killing me financially. We talk about everything. Dreams, fears, failures, the things we've never told anyone else. And every night, he kisses me at my door and walks away. It's driving me insane. Why won't you stay? I ask one night, 2 weeks into my time at his house. He's standing in the hallway, backlit by the soft glow of the wall sconces. His expression is pained, because I don't trust myself. What does that mean? It means if I come into that room with you, I won't want to leave. And you deserve better than to be rushed. You deserve to be courted, to be certain. I am certain. You think you are, but you've been through trauma. You're living in my house. There's an imbalance of power that I refuse to exploit. He cups my face in his hands. I want you, Zuri, more than I've ever wanted anything. But when we cross that line, it has to be because you're choosing me freely. Not because you're grateful. Not because you're scared. Because you want me as much as I want you. I want to argue. I want to tell him I'm not some fragile flower who needs protection from my own desires. but there's something in his eyes, something vulnerable, something that tells me this matters to him more than he can express. Fine, I say, but you're cooking me dinner tomorrow. A real dinner, not takeout or Mrs. Park's leftovers. He blinks. You want me to cook? I want a date. A proper date. Candles. Wine. The whole thing. I poke his chest. You want to court me? Start courting. He laughs. Really laughs. The sound fills the hallway and wraps around my heart. As you wish, he says. He kisses me goodnight. Longer than usual. Deeper. And when he walks away, I stand in the doorway watching him go, already counting the hours until tomorrow. The dinner is perfect. He makes galbi, marinated beef ribs that fill the kitchen with the most incredible smell. There's rice and banchan and a bottle of wine that probably costs more than my shop makes in a week. We eat in the dining room. Candles lit. Music playing softly. Just the two of us in a pool of warm light while the darkness gathers outside the windows. Where did you learn to cook? I ask. My grandmother. He pours more wine. She believed a man should be self-sufficient. Cooking was part of the curriculum, along with finance, languages, and strategic thinking. Your grandmother sounds intense. She was terrifying. He smiles, but she was also the one who taught me that strength isn't about force. It's about knowing when to bend and when to stand firm. Did she approve of the family business? She built the family business. He sets down his glass. My grandfather provided the muscle. My grandmother provided the brains. She was the strategist, the planner, the one who turned a small operation into an empire. So crime runs in the family. Survival runs in the family. Crime was just the form it took. He reaches across the table, takes my hand, but that's not what I want for us. If there's an us. There's an us, I say. I think we established that. Have we? His thumb traces my knuckles. We've talked. We've kissed. We've circled around each other like two people afraid to commit. I'm not afraid. Neither am I. Not anymore. He stands, comes around the table, pulls me to my feet. I'm done waiting, Zuri. I'm done being careful. I'm done pretending that I can survive another night without you. My heart is pounding. What are you saying? I'm saying I want you. All of you. Tonight and every night after. He cups my face. I'm saying I love you. And I know it's too fast and too complicated and too dangerous. But I love you anyway. Kang. Sunho, he corrects. Call me Sunho. Please. Sunho. His name feels different on my tongue. More intimate. More real. I love you too. He kisses me. Hard. Desperate. Everything we've been holding back, finally breaking free. I kiss him back with equal hunger. My hands find his chest, his shoulders, the back of his neck. His hands are on my waist, my back, pulling me closer until there's no space between us. Upstairs, I gasp between kisses. Now. He doesn't argue. He lifts me like I weigh nothing, carries me through the house, up the stairs, into a room I've never seen before. His bedroom. It's exactly what I expected and nothing like it at all. Dark furniture, clean lines, a bed that dominates the space. He sets me down on the edge of that bed, stands over me. His breathing is ragged. His eyes are dark with want. Last chance, he says. Tell me to stop, and I will. Don't stop. I pull him down to me. Don't ever stop. He doesn't. I wake up tangled in sheets that smell like him. Sunlight streams through windows I don't remember being there last night. Everything was dark then. Dark and warm and overwhelming in the best possible way. He's beside me, still asleep. His face is relaxed in a way I've never seen it before. The tension that lives in his jaw, the constant vigilance behind his eyes, all of it is gone. He looks younger like this. Peaceful. I watch him breathe. In and out. In and out. The steady rhythm of a man who finally let himself rest. My body aches in places I forgot existed. Good aches. The kind that remind you you're alive, that you're wanted, that someone saw you, really saw you, and decided you were worth holding on to. I reach out, trace the line of his jaw with my fingertip. He stirs but doesn't wake. Last night was everything, and nothing like I expected. I expected passion. I got that. I expected intensity. I got that too. But I also got tenderness, gentleness, moments where he stopped just to look at me, to brush hair from my face, to whisper my name like a prayer. He made love to me like I was precious, like I was the only thing in the world that mattered. No one has ever made me feel like that before. His eyes open, dark and warm, and immediately focused on me. "Good morning," he murmurs. "Good morning. How long have you been watching me?" "Long enough to know you talk in your sleep." He raises an eyebrow. "I do not." "You do. Something about quarterly reports." "That's embarrassing." "It's adorable." I lean in, kiss him softly. "You're secretly a workaholic, even in your dreams." He pulls me closer. His arm wraps around my waist, anchoring me against him. "I have better things to dream about now," he says. "Like what?" "Like you." His hand traces down my spine. "Like last night. Like doing that again. Immediately." Heat floods through me. "We should probably eat breakfast first." "Breakfast can wait." "Sunho." He silences me with a kiss. Deep and thorough and convincing. Breakfast waits a very long time. When we finally make it downstairs, it's almost noon. Mrs. Park has left food in the refrigerator. Of course she has. The woman is a miracle worker. Former spy, current housekeeper, apparently also psychic about when her employer is going to skip breakfast. We eat at the kitchen island, side by side. His hand keeps finding my knee. My hand keeps finding his thigh. We're ridiculous, completely ridiculous, and I don't care. "I have meetings this afternoon," he says between bites. Things I've been putting off. The CO situation, among other things. He sets down his chopsticks. "I've been neglecting my responsibilities, spending too much time with you." "Is that a complaint?" "It's an observation." He turns to face me fully. "You're distracting. In the best possible way. I can be less distracting." "Please don't." He kisses me quickly. "I'll be done by dinner. Will you be okay here?" "I have training with Yuna at 3, and there's a library full of books I haven't explored yet." I shrug. "I'll survive." "That's my brave girl." The words send warmth spreading through my chest. His girl. I'm his girl now. How did this happen? How did I go from invisible bookshop owner to the girlfriend of a man who runs an empire? I don't know. I don't care. I'm just glad it did. Training with Yuna is brutal. She's moved past basics now. We're working on actual techniques. Strikes. Blocks. How to use an attacker's momentum against them. I'm terrible at all of it. "You're thinking too much," she says for the 100th time. "Stop analyzing. React." I can't just react. I need to understand what I'm doing. Understanding comes later. Right now, you need muscle memory. She resets her stance. Again, we drill the same move over and over. Block. Redirect. Strike. Block. Redirect. Strike. By the end of the hour, my arms feel like lead and my brain feels like mush. "Better," Yuna says. "Not good, but better." High praise. I don't do praise. I do honest assessment. She tosses me a water bottle. "You're improving faster than I expected. Another month, and you might actually be able to defend yourself." "Only a month." "You're motivated. Fear is a good teacher." She sits down on the mat. "Can I ask you something personal?" "You're going to anyway." She grins. "True. What are your intentions with my brother?" I blink. "My intentions? He's different since you came. Lighter. Happier." She pauses. "He's also more distracted." more vulnerable. In our world, that can be dangerous. Are you warning me off? I'm asking what you want. Long term. After this situation with CEO is resolved, I think about the question. Really consider it. I don't know, I admit. I can't plan that far ahead. Everything is too new, too uncertain. But you care about him. Yes. And he cares about you. I hope so. He does. Her expression softens, just slightly. I've known my brother my whole life. I've never seen him look at anyone the way he looks at you, like you're the answer to a question he's been asking forever. That's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of love. She stands, offers me a hand. Don't waste it. People like us, we don't get many chances at happiness. When we find it, we have to hold on tight. I take her hand, let her pull me to my feet. Same time tomorrow. I ask, same time tomorrow. She pauses at the door. And Zuri, for what it's worth, I'm glad he found you. You're good for him. Then she's gone. I stand alone in the training room, processing everything she said. The responsibility of it, the weight. He loves me. His sister can see it. Maybe everyone can see it. And I love him too. More than I expected. More than I thought I was capable of. But love isn't enough. Not in his world. In his world, love can be a weapon, a liability, a way for enemies to strike at what matters most. I think about CEO, about the gray-haired man with empty eyes, about the room with concrete walls where I thought I might die. That's the world Sunho lives in. The world I've stepped into. Can I survive it? Can our love survive it? I don't know, but I'm going to try. Sunho comes home late. I'm in the library when I hear the front door open. I've been reading for hours, working my way through a collection of Korean poetry I found on the top shelf. Some of it I recognize. Yoon Dongju, the poet he asked about that day in my shop. The one his mother used to read to him. I hear his footsteps in the hall. Then the library door opens and he's there. He looks tired. Shadows under his eyes. Tension in his shoulders. Bad day? I ask. Complicated day. He crosses the room. Drops onto the couch beside me. The CO situation is more entrenched than I thought. What does that mean? It means he has allies I didn't know about. People in positions I didn't expect. He rubs his face with his hands. I'm going to have to do things I'd hoped to avoid. What kind of things? He's quiet for a moment. When he speaks, his voice is careful. The old ways, the methods my father would have used. He looks at me. I told you I've been trying to move the family toward legitimacy, to leave the violence behind. But some problems can't be solved with lawyers and negotiations. You're going to hurt people. I'm going to protect what's mine. His eyes hold mine. That includes you. I should be horrified. I should be running. I should be doing anything other than sitting here. Accepting this, accepting him. But I'm not horrified. I'm not running. I'm just sad. Sad for the man who wanted to be different and is being pulled back into the darkness he tried to escape. I don't want you to become something you hate, I say quietly. Neither do I. He takes my hand. But I also don't want to lose you. And if the choice is between my soul and your life, I'll choose your life every time. That's not a fair choice. Nothing about this is fair. He pulls me closer. I'm sorry, Zuri. I'm sorry I dragged you into this. I'm sorry you're trapped in a situation you never asked for. I'm not trapped. I cup his face in my hands. I chose to stay. I choose you. Every day. Even knowing what it might cost. Why? Because you're worth it. I kiss him softly. Because underneath all the danger and the darkness, there's a man who reads poetry and cooks dinner and looks at me like I hung the moon. And I'd rather have that man, complications and all, than go back to the safe, boring, lonely life I was living before. He kisses me back, deeper, harder, like he's trying to consume me, like he's afraid I might disappear. I love you, he murmurs against my lips. I love you too. I don't deserve you. Probably not. I pull back, smile at him. But you're stuck with me anyway. He laughs. The tension in his shoulders eases. Just slightly. Come to bed, I say. Whatever you have to do tomorrow, you need to rest tonight. I can't rest. He shakes his head. Too much to think about. Too much to plan. Then let me distract you. I stand. Hold out my hand. He looks at it. Looks at me. Something shifts in his expression. What did I do to deserve you, he asks. Something terrible, probably. I wiggle my fingers. Now come on. I believe you mentioned something about doing last night again. Immediately. He takes my hand. We don't make it to the bedroom. The library couch works just fine. 3 weeks pass. 3 weeks of training and reading and falling deeper in love. 3 weeks of Sunho coming home later and later. The shadows under his eyes growing darker. 3 weeks of tension building like a storm on the horizon. I learned to throw a punch that actually lands. I learned to fall without hurting myself. I learned to read a room, to identify exits, to sense danger before it announces itself. I also learned to cook Korean food. Mrs. Park teaches me, patient and precise, correcting my technique until the flavors are right. I learned that she was indeed a spy, that she worked for Korean intelligence for 20 years before retiring to this quieter life. I learned that she's known Sunho since he was a boy, that she watched him grow into the man he is today. He was always serious, she tells me one afternoon, always watching, always thinking. Even as a child, he carried the weight of expectation. That sounds lonely. It was. His mother tried to soften it, but she died too young. Mrs. Park's expression is sad. After she passed, there was no one to remind him that he was allowed to be happy. Until you. I'm not sure I remind him of anything. You remind him of hope. She pats my hand. That is no small thing. The storm breaks on a Tuesday. I'm in the training room with Yuna when Sunho appears in the doorway. His face is pale. His jaw is tight. We need to talk, he says. Both of you. We follow him to his study. Miho is already there, the scarred man from that first night, along with 2 others I've seen around the house but never spoken to. Seo is making his move, Sunho says without preamble. Tomorrow night, he's planning to hit 3 of our locations simultaneously. Warehouses mostly, but also. He pauses, looks at me. The bookshop. My heart stops. My shop. He knows it matters to you, which means it matters to me. Sunho's voice is hard. He's sending a message, trying to provoke a response. What kind of response? The kind that ends with one of us dead. The room is silent. Everyone is looking at Sunho, waiting. I'm not going to let that happen, he continues. We're going to hit him first. Tonight, before he can execute his plan. Hit him how? Yuna asks. Targeted strike. His main operation. We take out his infrastructure, his lieutenants, his ability to wage war. Sunho's eyes are cold. By tomorrow morning, the Seo family will be finished. I feel sick. This is it. The violence I've been dreading. The darkness I knew was coming. What about me? I ask, what do I do? You stay here, with Mrs. Park. The house is secure. No one gets in or out without my authorization. You want me to just sit here while you go to war. I want you to be safe. He crosses the room, takes my hands. Please, Zuri. I can't do what I need to do if I'm worried about you. And what about me worrying about you? I'll come back. He cups my face. I promise. Whatever happens tonight, I'll come back to you. I want to believe him. I want to trust that promise. But I know enough about his world to know that promises don't always survive the night. They leave at midnight. Sunho kisses me goodbye in the foyer, long and deep and desperate. I love you, he says. I love you too. I grip his jacket. Don't want to let go. Come back to me. Always. Then he's gone. The door closes behind him. The house falls silent. Mrs. Park appears beside me. Her expression is calm but watchful. Come, she says. I'll make tea. It's going to be a long night. We sit in the kitchen, drinking tea that I can't taste, waiting for news that doesn't come. The hours crawl by. 1, 2, 3, 4. At 5 in the morning, my phone buzzes. It's done. Coming home. 3 words. That's all. But they're enough. I start crying. I don't mean to. It just happens. Relief and fear and exhaustion all flooding out at once. Mrs. Park puts her arm around me. Doesn't say anything. Just holds me while I fall apart. By the time Sunho walks through the door, I've pulled myself together. Mostly. He looks exhausted. There's blood on his shirt, but I can tell it's not his. His eyes are dark and hollow in a way I've never seen before. It's over, he says. CO is finished. Is he dead? No, but his organization is destroyed. His allies have abandoned him. He'll spend the rest of his life looking over his shoulder. Something flickers in his expression. I wanted to kill him. For what he did to you. For what he threatened. But I didn't. Why not? Because you asked me not to become something I hate. He crosses the room, stops in front of me. Because I want to be the man you see when you look at me, not the monster my father was. I reach up, touch his face. He leans into my palm. You're not a monster, I say. You're just a man trying to do the right thing in an impossible situation. Is that enough? It's enough for me. He pulls me into his arms, holds me tight. I can feel him shaking, the adrenaline wearing off, the reality setting in. I'm so tired, he whispers. I'm so tired of fighting. Then stop fighting. I pull back. Look at him. You said you wanted out. You said you wanted a different life. Is that still true? Yes, but it's not that simple. Make it simple. I take his hands. You just took down your biggest enemy. Your organization is stronger than ever. If there was ever a time to step back, to hand things over to someone else, it's now. He's quiet for a long moment, processing, considering. You're asking me to give up everything I've built, he says finally. I'm asking you to build something new. With me. I squeeze his hands. A life that isn't about power and territory and survival. A life that's just life. Where would we go? Anywhere. Everywhere. Does it matter? I smile. You designed this house. You love architecture. Maybe you could do that. Design houses for other people. Create something beautiful instead of destroying things. That's a fantasy. So is this. I gesture between us. A bookshop owner and a crime boss. Meeting every Thursday. Falling in love. Building something real. I step closer. Fantasies become reality when you're brave enough to chase them. He looks at me. Really looks at me. And I see something shift in his eyes. Something that looks like hope. You really think I could walk away? I think you could do anything you set your mind to. I cup his face. The question is whether you want to. He kisses me. Soft and slow and full of possibility. Yes, he says when we break apart. Yes, I want to. With you. Then let's do it. I grin. Let's build a life worth living. 6 months later, I'm standing in front of a building I don't recognize. It's in a neighborhood I've never been to, on a street that's quiet and tree-lined and nothing like the strip mall where my grandmother's shop used to be. Used to be, because Bell's Books doesn't exist anymore. Not there, anyway. The insurance money came through 3 months ago. CO's men had damaged the building beyond repair during their attack. The landlord decided not to rebuild. I could have fought it, could have tried to find another location, could have scraped together enough money to start over. Instead, I let it go. It was the hardest decision I've ever made. Harder than staying with Sunho. Harder than learning to fight. harder than accepting that my life would never be what I thought it would be. But my grandmother's legacy isn't a building. It's not shelves and registers and a bell above the door. It's the love of books, the joy of connecting people with stories that change their lives, the belief that words have power, and that legacy can live anywhere. Ready? Sunho is beside me. He's different now, softer around the edges. The shadows under his eyes are gone. He smiles more than he used to, laughs more, sleeps through the night without waking in a cold sweat. Retirement suits him. That's what we're calling it. Retirement. He handed the organization over to a council of trusted lieutenants, with Yuna as the operational head. He still consults occasionally, still provides guidance when needed, but the day-to-day is no longer his responsibility. He's free, finally free, and he's used that freedom to do something incredible. I'm nervous, I admit. Don't be. He takes my hand. It's perfect. You're going to love it. He leads me toward the building. It's old but well-maintained. Red brick, large windows, a door painted deep blue. Above the door a sign. New, freshly painted. Carter and Kang books. I stop walking. Stare at the sign. Sunho. I know you said you didn't want to start over. I know you said the shop was gone and you needed to accept that. He squeezes my hand. But I also know you. You're not happy unless you're surrounded by books. Unless you're helping people find stories that matter. You bought me a bookshop? I bought us a bookshop. He pulls a key from his pocket. Partners. 50-50. You handle the books. I handle the business. We build something together. Tears are streaming down my face. I don't try to stop them. I don't know what to say. Say yes. He presses the key into my palm. Say you'll do this with me. Say you'll let me be part of your dream the way you've become part of mine. I look at the key, then at him, then at the building that's apparently ours now. Yes, I whisper. Yes, of course, yes. He kisses me, right there on the sidewalk, deep and thorough and full of promise. Come on, he says when we break apart. Let me show you inside. The interior is perfect. High ceilings, hardwood floors, built-in shelves lining every wall, waiting to be filled. There's a reading nook by the window, soft chairs and good light. A counter for the register, already set up with a modern system. A back room for storage and inventory. And books. Boxes and boxes of books. Stacked everywhere. Waiting to be unpacked, sorted, shelved. Where did all these come from? I ask. Various sources. Estate sales. Library closures. A few collections I acquired specifically for this. Sunho is watching me, gauging my reaction. I tried to get the kinds of things you like. Poetry, philosophy, rare finds. I pull open a box at random. Inside, carefully wrapped in tissue paper, is a first edition of Yoon Dongju's collected works. The same book he asked about that day in my shop. The one his mother used to read. Sunho. My voice breaks. This is too much. It's not nearly enough. He comes up behind me, wraps his arms around my waist. You gave me a second chance at life, Zuri. You showed me that I could be more than what my family made me. This is nothing compared to that. It's everything. I turn in his arms. Face him. You're everything. So are you. He kisses my forehead. Now, shall we get to work? These books aren't going to shelve themselves. We spend the whole day unpacking. It's exhausting and wonderful and exactly what I needed. By evening, my arms are sore and my back is aching and I couldn't be happier. Sunho orders dinner from a Korean place down the street. We eat sitting on the floor, surrounded by half-empty boxes and piles of books, talking about everything and nothing. I've been thinking, he says. Dangerous habit. He smiles, sets down his chopsticks. About the future. About us. What about us? We've been together almost a year now, living together, building a life. He pauses, but we've never talked about what comes next. My heart starts beating faster. What do you mean? I mean, he reaches into his pocket, pulls out a small velvet box. I mean, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I want to wake up beside you every morning and fall asleep holding you every night. I want to grow old with you, Zuri. I want everything. He opens the box. Inside is a ring, simple and elegant. A diamond set in white gold, surrounded by smaller stones that catch the light like stars. It was my mother's, he says. My father gave it to her on their wedding day. She wore it until she died. Sunho, I know it's fast. I know we're still figuring things out. I know there are 1,000 reasons why this is crazy. He takes my hand, looks into my eyes. But I also know that I've never been more certain of anything in my life. I love you. I want to marry you. Will you have me? I look at the ring, at him, at this man who walked into my bookshop looking for poetry and ended up becoming my whole world. Yes, I say. Yes, I'll marry you. He slides the ring onto my finger. It fits perfectly. Of course it does. Then he's kissing me, and I'm crying and laughing at the same time. And the books are scattered around us like witnesses to this moment I never saw coming. I love you, I say when we finally break apart. I love you too. He rests his forehead against mine. Forever. Forever, I agree. The wedding is small. We hold it in the garden behind our house. Just family and close friends. Yuna stands as Sunho's best woman. Mrs. Park cries through the whole ceremony. Even Miho looks almost emotional, though he'd probably deny it. I wear a simple white dress. Sunho wears a dark suit. We write our own vows. I vow to see you, I say. Not the name or the reputation or the fear. Just you. The man who reads poetry and cooks galbi and looks at me like I'm the only thing that matters. I vow to deserve you, he says. To be the man you see when you look at me. To build a life worthy of your love every single day. The officiant pronounces us husband and wife. Sunho kisses me like we're alone, like there's no one watching, like the whole world has narrowed down to just the two of us. I kiss him back with everything I have. We're married. After everything. After the danger and the violence and the impossible circumstances that brought us together. We made it. 1 year later. The shop is thriving. Against all odds, against every expectation. Johnson & Kong Books has become something special. We've built a reputation for rare finds and personal service. People come from all over the city to browse our shelves, to sit in our reading nook, to discover books they didn't know they needed. Sunho turned out to be better at this than I expected. He has an eye for value, a head for numbers, and a charm with customers that surprises me every time. The man who once commanded a criminal empire now spends his days recommending novels to strangers and debating the merits of different translations. It's absurd. It's wonderful. It's exactly what I never knew I wanted. The bell above the door chimes. I look up from the register. A woman walks in. Middle-aged. Tired eyes. The look of someone who's been searching for something and not finding it. Can I help you? I ask. I hope so. She glances around the shop, takes in the shelves, the books, the warmth of the space. I'm looking for something special. A gift for my daughter. She just graduated from college. She loves poetry, but I don't know where to start. I smile, come out from behind the counter. Let me show you what we have, I say. I think I know exactly what you need. I lead her to the poetry section, start pulling books from the shelves, explaining the differences, the styles, the voices that might speak to a young woman just starting her life. The woman listens, asks questions, eventually settles on a collection by a Korean poet she's never heard of. My husband introduced me to this one, I tell her. His mother used to read it to him when he was a child. That's beautiful. She smiles. You can tell a lot about a place by the stories its owners share. After she leaves, I stand by the window and watch her walk away. The book is tucked under her arm. A gift that might change her daughter's life or might just make her smile. That's what books do. They connect us. They transform us. They remind us that we're not alone. Arms wrap around me from behind. Who was that? Sunho asks, a mother looking for a gift. I lean back into him. I sold her the Yun Dongju collection. Good choice. I learned from the best. He kisses my temple. We stand there together, watching the world go by outside our window. I have something to tell you, I say. What's that? I turn in his arms, face him, take a deep breath. I'm pregnant. He goes still, completely still. For a moment, I'm afraid I've broken him. Pregnant. His voice is barely a whisper. 8 weeks. I found out this morning. I search his face. Say something. He shakes his head. I don't know what to say. I never thought. Never thought what? I never thought I'd have this. His eyes are bright, wet. A wife, a bookshop, a life I actually want to live. And now a baby. Is that okay? He laughs. It's a beautiful sound, full of joy and disbelief and something that sounds like wonder. It's more than okay. He pulls me close, holds me tight. It's everything. You're everything. We're going to be parents. We're going to be parents. He pulls back, cups my face in his hands. I'm going to be a father. Scared. Terrified. He grins, but also happier than I've ever been. Good. I kiss him. Me too. 9 months later, I'm holding our daughter in my arms. She's tiny, perfect, dark hair like her father, eyes that might be mine, but it's too early to tell. She's sleeping now, exhausted from the effort of being born, her little chest rising and falling with each breath. Sunho is beside me on the hospital bed. He hasn't stopped staring at her since she arrived. She's beautiful, he whispers. She is. She looks like you. She looks like both of us. I adjust her in my arms. Have you decided on a name? We've been debating for months. Lists and lists of options. Korean names. American names. Names from books we love. Nothing felt right. I was thinking, he says slowly. What about Grace? Grace. It means elegance. Blessing. He pauses. And it's also what you gave me. A second chance. A way to be something more than I was. I look at our daughter, at her tiny hands and her rosebud mouth and the impossible weight of her in my arms. Grace, I say. Grace Kang. Grace Kang. He reaches out, touches her cheek with one finger. She stirs but doesn't wake. Welcome to the world, little one. Your mother and I are going to spoil you absolutely rotten. We really are. He looks at me. His eyes are soft, full of love. Thank you, he says. For what? For walking into my life. For staying. For believing I could be more than what I was. He kisses me gently. For giving me a family. You gave me one too. I lean into him. Our daughter between us. I was invisible before I met you. I was fading away in a bookshop nobody visited, living a life nobody noticed. And then you walked through my door and changed everything. For better or worse? For better. I smile. Definitely for better. We sit in comfortable silence, watching our daughter sleep, thinking about everything that led to this moment. A bookshop, a stranger, a glass of something wrong, for words on a napkin. Don't drink this. Leave. Except those weren't my words. Those belonged to a different story, a different woman, a different love. My story started differently, with a bell above a door, with sad eyes and gentle hands, with poetry and patience and Thursdays at 4:17 p.m. But both stories end the same way, with love, with family, with a future worth fighting for. 5 years later, the bell chimes. I look up from the register. Grace runs across the shop floor, her dark hair flying behind her, laughing at something only she finds funny. Mama! Daddy's here. Sunho walks through the door. He's carrying bags from the market, ingredients for dinner. His hair has a few more gray strands than it used to. There are lines around his eyes that weren't there before. He's never looked more handsome. How are my girls? He asks. Good. I come around the counter. Kiss him quickly. How was the market? Crowded. I got everything except the mushrooms you wanted. They were out. We'll survive. Grace tugs at his jacket. Daddy, can we go to the park? After dinner, little one. But I want to go now. Patience is a virtue. He scoops her up. Your mother taught me that. I watch them together. My husband and my daughter. My whole world contained in two people. Mama. Grace is looking at me. Why are you crying? I didn't realize I was. I touch my cheek. Sure enough, wet. Happy tears, I say. Sometimes grown-ups cry when they're happy. That's weird. It is weird. I laugh, but lots of things about grown-ups are weird. Sunho sets her down. Go play for a few minutes. Mama, and I need to talk about boring adult things. Grace makes a face, but runs off toward the children's section. We installed it last year. Low shelves, bright colors, a little reading nook, just for kids. Everything okay? Sunho asks when she's gone. Everything's perfect. I lean into him. I just love our life. I love the shop. I love our family. I love you. I love you too. He wraps his arms around me. Best decision I ever made. What's that? Walking into that bookshop. Every Thursday, pretending I was interested in poetry. You were interested in poetry. I was interested in you. He grins. The poetry was an excuse. You're terrible. And yet you married me. Biggest mistake of my life. Liar. He kisses me. Deep and thorough, the way he always kisses me. Like I'm precious. Like I'm the only thing that matters. The bell chimes again. A customer walks in. We break apart, laughing like teenagers caught doing something they shouldn't. Welcome to Johnson and Kang, I say. Can I help you find something? The customer smiles. I'm looking for poetry. Something about love. For my wife. I glance at Sunho. He's watching me with that soft expression. The one that still makes my heart flip after all these years. I know just the thing, I say. Follow me. I lead the customer to the poetry section. Start pulling books from the shelves. Explaining the differences, the styles, the voices. Behind me, I hear Grace giggling. Hear Sunho's low voice answering her questions. Hear the life we've built together, playing out in the spaces between the books. This is my happily ever after. Not perfect, not easy, but real, true, ours. A bookshop owner and a former crime boss. Married with a daughter. Living a life neither of us expected. All because a man with sad eyes walked into my shop one Thursday afternoon, looking for something he couldn't name, and found me instead.